Hey, so it's Friday on the Bro Society channel, which means it's my day to upload again. So this week we are talking about coming out and everything around that. So I thought I'd give you some little like do's, don'ts, tips and all that lot. Because I've come out a few times about a lot of different things. So throughout the past few years I've actually come out as 4 different things. I came out originally as bi, then as gay or lesbian, whatever you want to say. Then it's gender fluid and then it's transgender. And I've done it loads of different ways, so I thought I'd come up with a list of like do's and don'ts of coming out. So if you're comfortable with doing this, I would say put it on a social media like Facebook or Twitter, whatever you use that will get it out to a lot of people. It is honestly one of the best ways I've ever come out. It just got everybody I wanted to know knew. They all read it, you get like loads of positive feedback. And I genuinely don't think like anybody criticised it. Like, the only thing I would say if you're doing this, tell like people you want to know first, because the only criticism I got with putting it on Facebook was some of like my mum and one of my siblings wasn't very happy that I didn't tell them beforehand and they just found out with the rest of them, but other than that I got no criticism over it, so I'd say that was one of the best ways of coming out. Don't come out unless you are like have accepted yourself, because if you haven't figured out yourself, you haven't accepted everything, it just leads to a lot of like mess when you come out, because it's like if you haven't accepted yourself and you aren't 100% about yourself and somebody criticises you, you sort of just get the mentality of, oh wait, I shouldn't have done that, and then you sort of get yourself back in the closet, and that's one of the worst things to do. I would say, especially coming out as trans, don't expect people to instantly call you by your right name and your right pronouns, because it won't happen. It simply won't happen. Like, for me, I know some people didn't start calling me my right name until, like 2 months later, and it's not every single time that they still do it. Like, some people I told instantly, like that day was like, right, I will try my best to do it. Whereas people like my dad and my stepmom, they took a little bit of time to get used to it, they grew into it, and then all of a sudden, now they call me Charlie, like, as much as they physically can. They slip up sometimes, but they do. But not everybody uses my preferred pronouns, and that's sort of difficult. But I would just say, give people time. They'll probably come around to it, and if they don't, you are completely and utterly entitled to just go, hey, yeah, I sort of don't like these pronouns, could you try and at least use these? And if they say no, you've just got to work around that situation. I would definitely say do come out as a way that shows you as a person, because you don't always just have to sit people down and be like having very deep conversation like, hey, I'm trans, this is my new name, these are my pronouns, could you start using them, and then them asking questions and talking all about it. I mean, if you want to do that, that's completely acceptable, but if you want to do it a different way, you do that. You bake a cake and put your trans on it, or I don't know, make a card or ask for a song card for Christmas or stuff like that. It gets your message across, but it doesn't generally mean you have to do it in that awkward way, because I hated that. I can't do it. So I just sort of put it on Facebook, and then that was it. And just my parents asked me a few questions, and then that was it. Don't ever come out to a drunk, homophobic or a transphobic person, because it won't end well. Like, I thought when I was first coming out as like bi, if I came out to my mum as bi, she would accept it better because she's drunk, and if not, she'd forget it by the morning. But it doesn't work. It just makes the situation 10 times worse, and it's just not a good idea. I just wouldn't do it ever. You've got to find a different way of doing it. I would say, I'd say the biggest don't ever come out to a transphobic person when you're not in a safe situation, especially parents. If you're like 14, you're still living at home with your parents, and you know for a fact your parents are transphobic, as much as you probably want to come out, you want to be yourself, you want to get help, just don't. It's not safe unless you've got like a plan where one of your family members is completely accepting of you and they'll happily let you live there. Don't do it, because there are like thousands of people that get kicked out on the streets every year because they're trans and their parents don't accept it. And it's one of the most awful things ever. So as much as you probably want to come out, just don't until you're in a safe place, because you could get kicked out and it's awful doing that. So just be safe when you're coming out. Make sure you're definitely 100% safe. When you're coming out, don't feel alone. You're not alone. There are thousands of people around the world that are coming out. Probably a lot of them on the same day as you. Yes, you'll get criticism. You'll probably make you feel absolutely crap. I think one day in the future, I will be able to get rid of every negative person out of my life without even batting an eyelid, and I'll be able to be the person who I am, truly. And it's worth it. It honestly is. So what I really want to emphasise is, do definitely come out. Just make sure that you're safe and you're doing it in a way that won't give you very bad responses, because it's nothing worse than getting a bad response, is there? So I'm sorry if this video was kind of long, because I just wanted to get all the points across. There's loads more that I could have said, but they're the main ones that I'd probably say. So yeah, that's it for this week, and I guess I'll see you guys next week on Friday. Bye!